And we're live. Welcome to another episode of Diotalk. I'm Dio. Let's talk. I want to present to you my guest for today is the great Wilson Estrada. How are you, brother? Welcome to the show.
Hey, good, man. Thank you. Appreciate your time and for the invitation. To be honest with you, man, it's the first time doing this, but it's always the first time, my man. It's always the first time. So I'm happy. I'm just happy, man. Thank you for the invitation. It's always a pleasure to talk to you on the phone, but doing this is completely different, but I like it. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for joining me, taking out the time and being here. I feel honored for I can be your first podcast ever. I hope
Hey.
I hope I can do good and hopefully open you to new podcasts. Is that, anyone that's doing it.
Awesome. Thank you, man.
So I wanna start the conversation a little bit on your experience. Yeah. For those that are listening, me and Estrada met at this company, which we're not gonna mention names. We were former co-workers. He's a great guy. That's how I had the pleasure and honor meeting him. We've been in the janitorial industry for a number couple of years, right?
Yeah.
So as you know, it's 2021. Uh, we started the year not too long ago, and we're
Yeah.
still in a pandemic phase. Uh,
Still.
where the states are still not functioning as they once did before, and just to pick your mind, because I know what what we went through when it first started. How was it?
Yeah.
How was it when it hit? This pandemic hit.
I mean, it was pretty bad. You and I both were together, man, and it got to a point that first time. For
Yeah,
everybody, uh, as a as a, I guess we can say we were in the front lines because we would never stop working, and
yeah,
the demand of just the calls of disinfecting certain buildings areas. I mean, you didn't know what you were walking into when you were going into the buildings. I mean, you didn't know much about it when it started. So, yeah, I mean, I was the guy that I was like, you know what? I mean, yeah, I'm wearing a mask, gloves, but is that enough? You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah,
Is
yeah,
that enough? I mean, uh, regardless, we were disinfecting. I mean, so it was tough. It was tough, but as as the as we move along, it was getting better. And when I say better, in a way that we get to know the system to
we got
just
we
to
got to we got to how do I say it? Just adapt to the situation. We was able
correct
to adapt and figure out
respond.
what's respond and just figure out to stay safe. Us
Exactly.
as the operation managers we were. It was definitely, it was not easy. It was not easy. It was scary. I don't know about you. I got a couple of my sites. I had a couple of people that passed away due to COVID. Did you ever
Right.
experience, have anybody?
No, not from my end. I mean, to be honest with you, the buildings that I had, I know you did, but the ones that we have, we didn't have to go through that. It was one person that was with somebody that got infected, but he went and got the test, but he came up negative. But no, I didn't experience not like you did. I know it was pretty tough up there up
Yeah,
north, and I know it was more difficult, especially your buildings that were pretty good size, and I got a pretty good size buildings, but most of the people that were working from home, but no, not like you did, and it's
yeah, man.
completely.
I
I mean,
got
hearing stories from different people saying, "Oh no, uh, my uncle's sick and he's at the hospital," stuff like that. So you start hearing things, but until a lot of people say, "Hey, listen, man, until you really get the COVID, man, you will understand what's going on."
Yeah, yeah.
And so that's, I mean, I just thank God, man. I thank the Lord that I'm safe. My family and I, like you did, like you said. I mean, we're walking into the buildings. We're going back home. I mean, I mean, regardless, you're doing all the steps, to stay safe. I mean, you still got that
Yeah,
mentality, be like,
yeah.
oh man,
Is
listen.
it
I
is
mean,
it enough?
is
Is it enough?
exactly, is it enough? And just, I mean, regardless, you in the buildings, and maybe it's not too many people in the buildings. You trying to avoid the crowds, and it's still,
Yeah.
it's just, it was tough going back, coming back home with the kids and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure you went through the same thing.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
going back home, you kids, your wife.
I one site near in where I live at, which I'm not gonna mention name. Um, the workers were so scared they abandoned their post.
Hmm.
I worked. My normal day was I got up at 6 o'clock in the morning. At 8 o'clock, I headed out. And that was my day. I would come back.
Mhm.
Some days I would come back at 8 o'clock at night. But in that situation, when the pandemic first hit, and that site, they left, and I worked my normal operation manager position. But then at
Yeah, I
night
remember.
at 5 o'clock, I
Yeah, I
worked.
remember.
I had to come home, change. We had a whole system, right? Shoes, shirts. I would get butt naked in front of the door, in
Yeah,
front of my
go
door.
straight to the shower, right?
Go straight to the shower. Then kiss and hug my son, and able to worship their presence, because I had to get out. I had to go.
Hmm.
Now there's another site thing. I'm blessed because it's so near me, right?
Hmm.
And it was me, one, and the supervisor, and we worked that whole, wow, those whole buildings, just me and her.
That was what, for a couple of months, like a
like,
month, like a
like
whole
a
month, right?
month and a half,
Yeah. Hmm.
almost going on 2 months. And man, it was, I learned a lot. I became master on disinfecting. uh you know I timed everything well, because the chemical we use, you have to spray and then leave 20 minutes there.
Correct.
But so what I would do is I will have the team spray it, and then while those 20 minutes pass, I'll go over here and spray here. Then when you come back here, you wipe everything down. Then you go back. So we will kill two birds in one stone, trying to managing it, because I truly didn't want to stay there. Shit, I was doing more than 16 hours a day and not getting
Yeah,
paid for it. Not getting paid for it. They did
it
not
was
take care
tough.
of
It
me.
was tough for you.
Yeah. And it was just people's, the fear they had of dying.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it,
I mean, like, go ahead.
it was incredible. Uh, did you get to lose some accounts? Shit, I got a couple accounts that shut down.
Yeah, I got a couple of the ones that shut down due to the COVID, of course, because they were working from home and they were not as busy. The type of job they do, they could have done at home, so they were doing remote. So regardless, I mean, it got to a point that they say, "Hey, listen, Wilson, we're not gonna need your services because we're gonna be doing remote, and we don't know when we're gonna come back." And they say it might be a couple of months. Back then, remember they say that, yeah, it might be 2 months, 3 months,
Yeah.
maybe in summertime, and maybe in summertime it's gotta get better. And yeah,
Summertime
kind of
came and
it
go.
slowed down. Yeah, it slowed down, but I never stopped. It kind of slowed down.
Mhm.
But no, in some of those accounts, they still doing remote, and they
Yeah.
say that they will call us back once everything, if they decide to go back.
Yeah. I
That's
have.
another. That's another thing, man. That's another. It kind of will. It will kind of affect the this industry,
Mhm.
because a lot of companies are saying that doing remote, they're still being they're still getting the job done, and they're doing it from home.
Yeah.
I mean, some people say that they don't mind going back into the office for a couple of days. But it's it's getting tough, man. And the
Yeah,
question is it gonna get better, man?
yeah, especially what we're going through right now. And I'm not sure if you saw what happened in the what Trump had all his people in the
Oh,
office.
oh, I think, okay, yeah, 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 yeah. Listen,
Man,
man, that was a big fiasco, man. I mean, to be honest with you, like politics is one of the dirtiest
yeah,
subjects.
yeah,
And I mean, I come from a country that politics is it's the worst. Central America, man. So it's my country. I mean, the politics is just bad. And now seeing these things is like, listen, man, this is how my country started.
this is a walk in the park compared to my country, right?
I was like, listen, that's how everything started back in the '90s. And I mean, they started losing control in so many ways, and you just don't believe the president. And I'm not saying that this president is bad or is good. I mean, politics is politics, man.
Yeah,
And they're
they're
gonna say,
savages.
yeah, they're gonna say things that you wanna, you wanna hear, but they're gonna execute it. They're gonna say, they're gonna do what they say. To be
Yeah,
honest with you, now, and so that's the consequences of what's happening right now.
yeah, yeah. I totally agree. I totally agree. And I don't know. Usually when you have faith, right? But I see a lot of people losing hope, and if we can even get back to our feet, because the presidency is going to shit. Politics are going to shit, and they're going to shit, and we're still in a pandemic. I
Hmm.
read something. I read an article. I think. Apologies if I'm botching this. If anyone's listening, if I think the Netherlands, something like that, they're free. They're free from COVID. They're free from the pandemic. They're back as normal.
So
And
another answer it was near around there. I know what you're talking
yeah,
about.
yeah, you saw it, right?
Hmm.
And it's just, to say that we America is the most powerful country in the world, and all this shit they say, we've done a horrible job. You know, some say that our president knew about it and did nothing about it. And and us as people, we have done a horrible job as well, because there's a lot of people that have not take this pandemic seriously. Don't use their
Correct.
masks, don't use their protection, don't protect themselves, don't protect others. And
They're
it's
still doing those big parties, gathering, and that's one of the consequences, man. I mean, like I always say, man. I mean, regardless if it's, I always say to people, man, regardless if it's true or not. I mean, you gotta do your part. I
Mhm.
always say, listen. I mean, I haven't got sick. I don't know. I mean, I probably will get sick eventually. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know, but I gotta do my part. I always say, man, you gotta respect everybody's um uh the way they think.
hmm,
But at the same time, when you're in a public place, you gotta respect. So that means wearing a mask is respecting everybody else. Now,
yeah,
if you're at home, you can do whatever you want at home.
yeah,
It's your
yeah,
own house. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to wear a mask.
yeah, yeah. I
Now, if
agree.
you wanna invite 20 people, that's up to you.
Yeah,
But there is gonna be consequences to it. So therefore, just I mean, do your part. In the meanwhile, I mean, they say they're doing the vaccine now. They're saying the first vaccine only protects you 50%, and then you gotta wait a couple of weeks to get the second one,
which is
and
it's
that
a it's a
which is kind of
totally it's a
it
totally
goes up to
oxymoron.
95.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it goes up to 95%, and you still gotta wear a mask. And you
Wow.
still gotta wear a mask. So therefore, until the numbers go down, and I mean, after this vaccine starts getting to everybody, I mean,
Yeah,
until the
and
numbers
the
go down, you still gotta
distribution,
wear the mask.
the
Still,
the
even if you get the vaccine, you still gotta wear a mask.
yeah, the distribution too. They're having uh the states are having problems with distribution them, because people are stealing them. And I think I think I heard somebody say that they're even stealing them to sell them in the black market. Like it's ridiculous, you know. But we're definitely going through something, and back in other decades when like the flu first started and other pandemics, I don't think it went so bad as this one. When we're going through a pandemic and we have a shitty president. I mean, it's
You know
it's
what?
it's fucked up.
Exactly. Not only that, but at the same time, look, all the social media. So you spread the rumors, news.
Hmm.
So it's getting to the people now.
Yeah.
So now it's in people's head. I
Hmm.
mean, back then, I mean, what do they say? The flu was killing has killed more people than this virus throughout each year. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little bit of everything, man.
Yeah.
And
It's you have a TV and you watch three or four different types of news, and they're all saying the same shit. Nobody knows. Then you try to look for information. You can't, because the internet is not the same thing as it was before. You Google something, everything is a fucking blog. It's not even it's not even real articles. It's
yeah,
blogs.
yeah, and you'd be like, which one is true?
Yeah, you gotta
Which one's
fucking
telling the
read
truth?
five different blogs to get a conclusion,
Correct.
because it's not even factual information. It's information that we take from here, then we take from here, and then we put our own opinion, or we take somebody else's opinion, and it's a lot of copy and paste.
You
You don't know what's real.
listen. You said it yourself. I mean, we put our own opinions on the on whatever we're reading, and then
Mhm.
we rewrite it. You could say on your own words, but basically, it's like, yeah. I mean, is you which who's telling the truth? You know.
Mhm. Mhm.
I mean, which ones are the what's the fact here? I mean, it's a lot of things that you gotta be real careful what you read, what you I mean, especially nowadays. I mean, now you don't have to even go to the TV now. I mean, everything is on your phone, man.
Yeah. Now,
Everything is on your
and
phone.
on social media, because you get nowadays,
Exactly.
and nowadays you go on Facebook or on Instagram, you get more ads than actually seeing people's posts.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. You're right.
it's always an ad about some shit. Going back to the industry, um, is either going to change, or they have to pay higher amounts of salary, because you're
Yeah.
going to keep a building open, and you want the team to clean, but then you want a little bit more. You know,
Disinfecting.
yeah,
Not
disinfecting.
only clean, exactly.
Exactly. So you want us to clean, do a normal job, but now we're in a pandemic, which is nobody has shut down or said we're over. So you're risking employees to get
Hmm.
infected each day.
Correct.
So like the company can't be the company cannot be the only one making money, because that falls on us as well, because we could be operation manager, but we're still out here doing these meetings, seeing these clients, visiting these sites. We're still out here, and I mean in general,
Correct.
and any industry that has to do with positions similar that the ones we hold.
Correct. You're right.
It's a lot of it's a lot to think about, but I'll tell you this much: we're in a very good time to start your own business. The corporations are not doing too good. Small businesses have been the backbone of America for many, many, many decades. You do your due diligence, you educate yourself, and you'll find the grants, you'll find the help to build your business. And
Correct.
that's something that once I walked away from the company, I started to do, and we're here. And I encourage you, and I encourage everybody, because we don't know where tomorrow is,
No, no, definitely not.
and we have to, jobs come and go, and they come and go, and we depend on those jobs, and we haven't taken care of ourselves, we haven't taken care of our family, and we're left what, unemployment, there's barely any money left.
That's
it's
crazy, right?
that- that's
That's
it's it's a lot to think about.
And it's a lot of subjects. Like you say, it's a lot of things to think about, and it's just, I mean, are we? Is it gonna get any better? That's the
Yeah.
question.
And I know for you because you bust your ass working. You know, you came from another country here. You started with nothing. You built yourself and worked your ass off into get to this high position because the position you hold is high. You know, nobody can get it. You know, just like that. You worked your ass to that,
Yeah, yeah.
and
You start from the bottom, man, from
yeah,
scratch.
yeah. So with even more, you know, you have to have something that will take care of you in the end for yourself, you know,
Exactly.
and that's just what people, you know, that's what that's my opinion, you know. I could say it 20 million times, but for somebody to hear it and understand it, that's another $20, brother.
Listen, man. You're right. You're right. And when I say this industry, I mean, you start your business, you gotta start from scratch, and that's how you get the experience. I mean, I started in October. Yeah, November of '07, man. I started cleaning bathrooms, man, for another company, and removing the trash from each office cubicle. And I started from the bottom, man. I remember. I mean, my brother who's a supervisor in another building with the company I was before, and I remember these words, man. He said, "Listen, man. Regardless of cleaning bathrooms, removing the trash, opportunities they're gonna come up to you, long as you do a good job, and every opportunity is gonna present to you because they're gonna see you work."
Yeah.
And he told me, "Listen, like on the weekends, man, he would tell me, hey, it's a project coming up. We gotta do a carpet cleaning, and I want to teach you how to use the machines, the side by side, the stretch machine." I was like, "Sure." I was like, "I'm all about it, man." And I know a lot about the industry because of my brother. He's been doing it since 1995, and he told me, "Listen, it's good for you to learn these all these like the carpet cleaning, stripping wax, all the machines that when it comes to the industry of cleaning." And I was like, "Sure." It took me a month and a half to know all the machines real well. And about 5, 6 months later, there was an opportunity to become a supervisor. And they say, but this supervisor got to know all the machines. They got to know the industry well. And without me saying anything, they came up to me and offered me the position. I was like, "All right, sure." And my brother, I spoke with my brother. I was like, "Hey, listen, you know about this?" I was like, "Yeah." And he was gonna be basically he was gonna be my boss at nighttime. And he said, "Yeah." And they asked me. I didn't say anything. They asked me, what I think about you, regardless you're my brother. I said, "I think he's ready." And so I took the chance. I took this responsibility, the opportunity to growth into another position that was gonna push me to another position. When I don't know. It took a couple of years to get where I am now. But I always say, man, you gotta work hard, and when you work hard, opportunities gonna come up to you. They gotta be in front of you. I mean, one door closes, one door opens, and like you said, you've been in the industry, you know how this works, man.
Yeah.
One closes, one opens,
Yeah.
and sometimes you'll be like, "Man, really, man? I like that. I mean, but when you realize you're doing something now, look at you, man.
Yeah,
You
man.
got your own business.
Yeah,
You
and
got your own business.
it wasn't, and it wasn't easy, you know. It was, and it's still not easy. It's still not. I'm still looking for that number that um will maintain my family stable. Every day is a hustle, you know. But it's like you said, everything's work hard, and I've never been afraid of hard work. That's why I'm doing this and putting
I
myself
can tell, man. I can tell.
and putting myself out there, you know, and just not, you know, have no care in the world of people opinionating on what you do or putting you down, because it's a whole lot of that. There's a whole
Hmm.
lot of that, you know. And when I walked away from the company itself, dude, I had a lot of opportunities, a lot
Okay.
of a lot of opportunities, a lot of big numbers, numbers that me
Okay.
and you have talked in the past. And I was like, that's a
Okay.
big number, and you know, I took a risk. I took a risk, and it's been difficult, but I'm a lot more happier that if I ever took those numbers because I got to spend the time with my family. Get my mind right because being in these high position, they kill you. They're very stressed. They burn you out as a person. And
Hmm.
when you like me, I wasn't barely eating or sleeping. I was like a mummy, just waking up and go to this side, talking like I had no. I was
Sleepwalking.
yeah, yeah, and I was so burned out. I was so burned out, and you know, us, we are the answer. There was always a question, and we are the
Hmm.
answer. And sometimes we give the answer, but they don't want to hear the answer. So they'll go through this, giant tornado of headaches, knowing that we
Hmm.
have provided the answer already, and we're just waiting to like here. As soon as you get your tantrum done, and your feelings, this is the answer. And I was stuck with a lot of that. And like we spoke the other day, I do miss it. I miss the
Hmm.
camaraderie. I miss going out. I miss meeting clients. I miss a lot, but I wouldn't want to go back to doing that. I'm focused on this, and it's just um I don't want to be burned out as I was before.
Listen, man. I know what you mean. I mean, like you said, to be honest with you, I enjoy my. I love what I do. There's days. Don't get me wrong. There's days, man. I'm like, man, is it worth it, man? Because, like you said, it's a lot of pressure from a lot of ends, man. Because
Yeah,
we're in the middle. We're in the middle of the company, customer, employee, and which is great. But there's moments you'd be like, man, it's worth it, man. It's worth all this pressure. I mean, the stressed because I mean, when you get stressed because you worry about your job, you worry
hmm,
about what you do because you want to do it right. You're working for a company that you want to do. They gave you the opportunity, and you want to do it right for them.
yeah.
And
You
you want
want
to
to
do
do
it right
better
for
on
you.
them. Yeah,
Exactly, and you want to do it right for them, and you want to do it right for your person because you want to get the experience and because you like what you're doing. But
exactly.
there's and like I know what you mean. There's times that it burns you, and that's when you be like, "Hey, it's time for me to take vacation." Kind of like get your mind, get your mind out of work and just do you. Don't think about a company, the employee, the customer. There's
Exactly.
times that you gotta know your place. You gotta know the time. It's kind of hard to shuffle all those things at the same time and but for you got something going. I mean, listen, man. I mean, and if you happy where you at right now, man, listen, keep it up. You're a great guy, man. You're a great guy. I mean, the
Appreciate
time
that.
we spend time, the time you invited. Remember when we went to eat?
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
invited me. You invited me. It was a good talk. You told me about your ideas. It was great. To be honest with you, I was like, man, hey, look at this guy, man. I mean, regardless you got a job, you always think about something else.
Yeah, yeah.
You
You
know,
always have to progress and do better for yourself.
exactly. So I was like, man, that's good. And I mean, I remember you telling me, like, hey, the experience you have, I think you should. I mean, the words that came out that day, I was like, appreciate it. You said, Wilson, the
It's not.
experience
It's
you
not.
have, you should put your own company,
Yeah,
man.
and it's easier said than done.
Exactly.
It's easier said than done, but it's the way I continue. Like my backstory is like I grew up in Puerto Rico. I came here. Um, I graduated from. I'm certified as a paramedic. I haven't worked in fucking 10 years, but I came here for ever X, Y, and reasons. I couldn't become a paramedic here because that would mean me going back to school on something I did in a year and a half. I got to go almost 4 years here. I
Yeah.
needed money. I was in a good predicament. Uh, I was very young, and I started working security. I got my SORA, right, and I built myself up to, almost a operation manager in security.
Mm-hmm.
And I stumbled upon a lot of things that I didn't see unfair, and
Okay.
and in that industry right there, is you don't know nobody, you're not gonna get far, at least in my
Okay.
experience. So, I, at that time, I start from scratch, and this time I'm starting from scratch, with a pregnant wife, married. So I got this opportunity to work at a senior living home as a regular porter. Fuck, as a job into something better. There I learned, the same set of skills you had. The difference with me,
Mm-hmm.
I was a little better because I already have customer service skills. I know how to manage
Mm-hmm.
people. One thing I didn't know how to manage were my fucking racist supervisor. Like, he was fucking racist.
Wow, man.
Um, and the politics, you know?
That's another subject, man. When it comes to Latinos, man,
Yeah.
working in this country, which I always say, man, this country it's a great country. It's blessed, but sometimes the people, man,
Mhm.
we always gotta be the minority, man.
Yeah.
I mean, regardless. I have met great people. Don't get me wrong, but we always gotta be the minority.
I,
I mean,
I
regardless. I
agree.
mean,
And
look at
and
my
I'm
look at my skin color. Look at my face. I mean, it
yeah,
tells me, hey, he's a Latino. I can tell he's a Latino. He's not. They're not gonna pay me the same thing. They're gonna
yeah,
pay a Caucasian man. I mean,
yeah,
let's be honest. You know, we're not gonna go around the bushes. It is what it is.
yeah.
Yeah, I got that. I
But we
got
don't
that.
use that. We don't use that as a fucking crutch.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying?
Exactly. That's
So
the difference, man.
I was there. I found myself working every fucking day doing three-man job by myself. While everybody would just fucking go, they wouldn't show up for work, and they would get paid for it. I'm here busting my ass and getting treated like shit. Literally, treated like shit. I remember Tony Velez. He was the manager for the maintenance. He told me, and this shit has stuck with me ever since. For as long as you're doing something, you're always gonna be okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in back and forth. I got offered this supervisor job to go work at Verizon,
Okay.
and I was like, that's a part time. That's pays good money, but
Mm-hmm.
it's a part time. I wanted to divide. Maybe I work here, and then at night I go over there. And when I brought it to their attention, to see if they work with me, um, just fucking haters, bro. They were all about like, you can't do that. Are you sure? But you don't even know that. But yeah, I'm here doing carpets, 4 or 5 a day, stripping
Mm-hmm.
wax, throwing out trash. Everything a porter would do, I'm doing it. A three-man job by myself. And I was like, fuck, I just walked out. Now, I'm in this new career. Now I'm becoming a supervisor, which later on
Mm-hmm.
I became the facility manager. But it was I realized it was much easier for me work with my kind and progress with my kind to try to convince and install in some other people's that I'm good for this.
Yeah.
And from there, I got to meet you, and we're here right now. But it's not that different from you. And I'm American, and I'm born here.
See, there you go, man. I wasn't born here, and I mean, and but it's tough in so many ways. I mean, like you said, man. I mean, you get to meet people around throughout the your journey in different ages, man. And like you said, I mean, they were telling you, hey, it's I mean, you don't have experience to become a supervisor here. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And that's not true, man. That's I mean, if they offer you the job and there's an opening and you apply to it, that's the reason. I mean, like I said, when I applied to for a manager position, I didn't have the experience, man. I had the experience of supervisor, but not as a manager. And I was just from with the company. I said, listen, I mean, I know the industry, I know how to deal with people, supervise, but the manager part, I think if you guys give me the opportunity, I think I can take advantage of it and just give me an opportunity. And if you like it, awesome. If not, I mean, you can always say thank you to me. And to be honest with you, I mean, they gave me the opportunity to where I am now and getting the experience. And
Yeah, well, I told you we had that conversation. I told you your
mhm,
potential. You know,
mhm,
it's all about capitalizing on it. You know, it's all about how bad do you want it and how are you
exactly.
because I tell people all the time, you can have your 9 to 5 job and still build your business on the side because until that business gets to where it needs to get, you have to pump that motherfucker up. You
Yeah,
have
yeah, you're right. You're right.
and when you say, hey, um, I'm ready to go, like Salvador. I did an order. I think last week I gave him his order of shirts. He's been from the first time I met him. That was his plan. He didn't want to leave where he was. He liked it.
Hmm.
But what happens to people that are good at what they do? They either get taken advantage or they don't appreciate them.
Hmm.
And that's not in this industry, in many other industries. So
Yeah, you're right.
that
Exactly.
I don't look at it as a bad thing. I look at that as fuel to build myself up and progress. And I'm like, it makes me happy because we didn't know each other, but as soon as we clicked, it's like magnets, brother. And
Hmm.
yeah, I totally understand and supportive. If I could, I would have even done those shits for free just to support him.
Hmm.
You know, because that's what I want. I want people to capitalize on their potential. You know, and if it's not nothing, like I said, it's nothing wrong if people like to work their 9 to 5 and that's where they feel comfortable. And that's nothing wrong. I respect that. But
Exactly.
but my question is, like I ask the same question as I ask myself. Are you capitalizing on your full potential? That's why I ask myself all the time.
Yeah, not only that, man. I mean, sometimes we get more like comfortable doing what we're doing, and sometimes we're afraid to be like, "Oh man, what about if it doesn't work?"
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Now that's it's stuck in your head, and now you got doubts.
yeah,
Those doubts can, I mean, like you be like you said, man. Hey, I should put in my own company. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I know how to paint as well,
mm-hmm.
and I think I'm pretty good at it, and I've been doing it for years as well. And I can do either way, man. Sometimes I get side jobs on the weekends about painting, and I get good chunk of money, man,
Yeah,
by doing a couple of things. And I'll be like, should I shoot myself for to doing these or to do these? Now I'm playing doubts in my head, and now by having doubts, you don't allow yourself to be like, well, you won't find out if you don't do it,
yeah, yeah,
and you never know. It might be like, hey, maybe you take off from there, like you're
yeah,
doing it right now.
yeah,
See, at least you're doing something about it. You got your own company, you run it. I mean, you're doing pretty good. I see. I follow you on your on IG, and you do a good work, man. And
thank you,
and I
thank
was like, hey, sometimes it might take time, little by little, especially now with the pandemic.
you. Hmm.
Kind of everything slowed down. Kind of everything slowed down. I'm pretty sure you've seen that part too. But
Yeah,
you sticking with it, and you're
yeah,
doing something about it. You're not
yeah,
only, I mean, yeah, I got the experience, but you're doing something about it, and eventually it's gonna pay off. Sometimes we just gotta be patient and not be afraid to do certain things. Hey, step it up, and hey, doesn't work, you can always go back and get a job and start all over again.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. You know, I, I go through that 9 out of 10 every day. Doubts, worries, and fear. because at the end that's what it is, fear.
Hmm.
But I just, I've gone through so fucking much, bro. I've dealt with so many fucked up people. I'm literally tired, and I see, not to bring it up, but this former employee that I had, I see all my fucking potential, all the how do I put it? It's like it's a puzzle you got to put together, and you're breaking
Hmm.
your head to put it. And I saw my potential and how quickly and how thoughtful I was putting everything together, and
As you were walking,
yeah,
you were
and
finding the pieces that you know you had that were your pieces of the
yeah,
puzzle.
and I was like, fuck, if I could do this for myself, if I could have the discipline, the dedication, the consistency, most of all the patience, I could do something. I could do
Yeah.
something. Perfect example, this podcast, fucking editing, cutting it down, trimming it down. I never have done that shit in my life. And I'm fucking doing it. The shirts, when I first started with the shirts, it was so fucking difficult. But as time progressed and I keep practicing my craft and give it a dedication and nurturing
Hmm.
as a rose that grows, you know, it's gonna blossom. But like I ask this to every person, do you have are you willing to go through that? Are you willing to have that patience, that dedication? And me, my experience, fuck it.
And you know what's crazy, man? I got a lot of respect for you, man. You doing it with a family, man. It's not like you're single, you know. If you were
Yeah,
by yourself, be like, oh man, you got no doubt. I mean, hey, you can go out without a day with no eating, hey, you can survive. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But
yeah,
having your kid, your wife, you'd be like, oh man,
dude.
and that's another motivation for you. So you gotta keep up, man.
Yeah,
You gotta hustle, man. And yeah, the kids will push you. They will take it to another level because you're not thinking about yourself anymore.
yeah.
You gotta think about the ones next to you.
You got to think. You got to think about shit like chess. What's your next move? You
Yeah.
know, like
Remember, chess. You gotta think about 2 or 3 moves in advance.
exactly, like I when I left, I had a very ugly experience. Some say, it's stupid, but for me, I walk in when I say I walk into something, I want respect, in general, for me, for you, for everybody. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
And,
no doubt, no doubt.
and as soon as that shit wasn't, that's all. I didn't ask for a raise. I asked for respect.
Yeah.
Once you cross me, you lost me. And I think about sometimes because, like I said, I do miss it. Like the camaraderie, like this. It just this shit fused me, man. It fused me.
Hmm.
Like it fused you when you came from your country over here, and you had to work for that shit, and you had
Yeah.
to work to it fused me like that. And it's like Tom Brady with the Buccaneers. He said fuck the, he
Listen,
said
man, that's my dude. That's my dude.
he
I'm a
said
Patriots.
he said fuck the Patriots, and I'm going to Buccaneers. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you what I can do.
And you know what? Not only that. I mean, I'm a
Shit.
Patriots fan, man. I'm a
That's a
Patriots fan,
great
big time.
that's a great segue. That's a
Listen, I'm a big Patriots fan, and
oh
since
shit.
Drew Bledsoe, man, and by him leaving, I didn't really get mad at him because he gave 20 years, man.
He
Yeah,
got 6 championships.
he went to nine Super Bowls and he got six out of them. I mean, that's a lot, man. A dude, man, that
That's more
when
than
he
LeBron.
was
I'll tell you that much.
when he was in the combine, I mean, nobody thought he was gonna win six Super Bowls or go to six Super Bowls. I mean, nine Super Bowls.
He was the
It's like,
ninth draft pick, so he was way back in the draft.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
And look, and look what he said to the owners, Kraft. I mean, he said, "You won't regret it." I
Yeah,
mean, when you say you won't regret and you stand and you prove them, that's that's worth a lot, man.
yeah,
Because
man.
when listen, when you say you won't regret it, and I remember those words that used to affect that when they gave me the opportunity to become a manager. I said, listen, if you give me the opportunity, I think I can keep up with it. Don't get me wrong, man. It's tough. It's like, man, I mean, my second year, I was like, whew, it's tough, but I was like, I'm liking it. I'm liking it, and you know, I gotta take advantage. And this is
Yeah,
it's like along the way, maybe I find another opportunity that's gonna be higher, more pay. Like you say, you had a lot of opportunities,
hmm,
but you want to do your own thing. That you can still go back. Now you
hmm,
got options. When you got
yeah.
options, man,
Yeah,
you,
especially, I
you
mean, I'll tell you this, especially with you. I used to love calling because you're very resourceful. You build yourself in a way that, let me call Wilson. Let me call Wilson, and you do it in a such humble, respectful, nonchalant way. Like you're not afraid to help somebody. You're not afraid
nah, man.
to, all right, we can do this. And, and like you said before, there are very hard days,
Yeah.
especially in our industry. There are very hard days, and yet you find that calm place to help anybody, or your fellow worker, to help them and guide them. And I'm like, fuck, man, not a lot of fucking people do that. A lot of
You know
people
what,
worry
man?
about a lot of people worry about, oh, they're gonna take my job, they're gonna take like, you would never have to worry about somebody taking your job if you do what the fuck you got to do.
Listen, man. You said it, man. Like I said, you gotta take care of your job, and I always say, I always tell people, man. I always tell employees. I always tell them. I was like, you know, when I go to buildings, I gotta speak to employee. I was like, listen, I started from scratch. I'm not here. First, I'm a believer, man. I thank God for everything I have. And used the fact that I always tell people, like I tell them, like the little story I told you about me, how I started. I started from scratch. I was like, hey, listen, I clean toilets.
I clean toilets. Shit.
Listen, it was times that I had to like when I would walk into a certain bathrooms, I was like,
I
oh man. I was like,
yeah,
really,
we
man?
had to unplunge it. Oh man, I remember those
Oh
days.
man. I was like, listen, man. I was like, I just took a big breathing. I was like, let's do it, man. Pow, pow. And
Okay, have no
take care of
ego.
it, clean it, make sure it was really nice and clean. It doesn't smell anymore. I was like, listen, I went through that.
Dude, I
Not
had more
not not for
fun.
one time, for a year, for a couple of years I did it.
Yeah, yeah, me too. I had more
And still
fun.
and nowadays too, you
Yeah,
know?
shit. Tell me about it. I'm not gonna lie, I had more fun actually doing sometimes physical labor, because it is physical labor, than when I got into management, man. Management in general, because you gotta remember, I've been in two different industries.
Hmm.
Management is all about kissing and kissing ass and trying to make people like you, and who's the first motherfucker gonna give this person coffee. And when I was doing the physical labor, man, I just had to do what the fuck I do. I'm out. I'm good. What time
Hmm.
I gotta be out by 3:30, 3:15. I'm already in my car and everything's done. I really and I really had it was just more easier. Sometimes people just take a lot out of you, man. They take a lot out of you. And
Yeah, you're right.
and like you said earlier, I had the biggest buildings, and some cleaners were complaining about, they wouldn't complain. They just didn't want to do shit. It's a lot of
Yeah.
them.
Sometimes they just want the money, man. Hey, I'm here for a paycheck and that's it.
Yeah. And
Yeah, like you said, man. I mean, I always advise people. I was like, listen, you always got to do a good job, man. Regardless the pay is bad, you always got to do it good. You know why? Because it's gonna be an opportunity that they're gonna offer you. Why? Because you're a great worker.
mhm,
You take responsibility on what you do in the little section you cleaning.
mhm,
If you gotta clean this table every day, you gotta clean every day because you gotta take care of your section. You gotta take care of your job because okay, that guy is always taking care of that table. You know, he's doing what he's told to do, And some every now and then you see another table is dirty, you take a quick wipe. You know, we see those things,
Hmm.
and when it's an opportunity to hey, it's an opening for a supervisor. Listen, you got potential. Would you like to take this opportunity? It's more a
Yep.
little bit more money, and I think it suits you. I think you would be a great example. What do you think?
Yeah.
And they'd be like, "Oh no, no, great, yeah, I'd be happy to take it." Be
Yeah.
like, "Hey, I tell them, you know why I'm offering it to you? Because you're responsible. You what you do, you take pride and you do it. You do it the right way.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's perfect, but you do it the right way. Where I say the right way is that you take care of your job.
Yeah.
And when I come up to you and say, listen, can you fix this? This is not properly clean. Boss, not a problem. I'll take care of it. That's the attitude that you know you're gonna take care of it, you're gonna clean it, and that's gonna open up. And that's what we see. Like I tell them, as a manager, if I got a position that needs to be filled up as a supervisor, hey, I want that guy. Be like, hey, I think you're the right person for this job. We like to take it. It's gonna be more money, of course. And I was like, I tell people, it's always gonna be somebody watching you.
Yeah.
It's always gonna be
Always.
somebody. It's always gonna be a door that's gonna open because of what you do in the you do it with pride, man. You want to learn, and regardless, it's only cleaning bathrooms, taking the trash. Look where I'm at now, man. Look where you at now, man. You know what I'm saying? Because you gotta take pride in what you do, and you always gotta do it the right way, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
You gotta let your job speak for themselves. You know, what I mean, for you. Not,
Exactly.
I don't want you to. Hey, you hire me. You be. I'm gonna be like, hey, listen, man. Trust me. I know how to do it. I know how to clean. No, I'd be like, hey, listen. If you give me the opportunity,
Let
you
me
you
show
see
you.
how I work. Yeah, if you like what I do and how I do it,
And
great.
in this interest in this industry, it's a perfect example of let me show you what I can do.
Hmm.
Let me show you what I can do.
Exactly. Exactly.
Not in not in other,
Actions. Yeah.
yeah, not in other industries that you really don't have a physical component that you can prove them how much you can do, you know. one thing
Exactly.
One thing I've always hated is stripping waxing.
Oh
I've
yeah,
always
yeah. What's that, man?
man
What you fell a couple of times?
nah, everybody, I work with so many people, everybody does it different. Everybody does it
Yeah,
different.
yeah, yeah.
And it's very rarely that I see somebody that does it and impresses me.
Okay.
Everybody does it
What do you
sloppy.
what do you mean with that? Yeah, yeah. Okay. So
It's I want to blame it on the severity of there's not a lot of people that when they want to strip and wax, they they schedule it properly.
okay,
So when they go schedule it, is either half ass because they didn't know about it, or the person wasn't just right for the job. And I trust me, I've worked with a lot of fucking people that
okay. I got you. I
uh,
got
I hate it. I hate it because it always turned out for me doing it,
you. Hmm.
or taking care of it or completing it, and it's not as perfect as you yourself would actually do it. So the times I've had to take care of it, it's me fixing others people half-ass
Okay.
jobs. So I'm not a big
Yeah,
fan.
that's exactly. No, no. You're right. You're right. I mean, I always say, man. I know what you mean because you walk into a job, to a project, you'd be like, "Oh man, really? That's how it came out." It's like, no, come on. I mean, it could have done. You guys could have done better, man. Be like, and they start giving you the excuses and be like, "Yeah, but it was this and that." It's like, listen, you got the tools.
Yeah,
You got the tools. I mean, take care of it, man.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
And one thing about me, I dropped that fucking hammer. I dropped that hammer because it's like it's a reflection of your ethics. A reflection. I tell people all the
Hmm.
time, the work that other people, the people that work under you, whether they do a good or bad job, is a reflective on you, on your management
Hmm.
skills. So that's why I didn't like in my properties. I didn't like people that I didn't know
Okay.
because or if I wasn't managing the job, I wasn't safe for it to be done because I can walk in this building, everything's, I know this place needs a little bit more dedication. This is fine, and then next week when I come again, I see they stripped and waxed or they scrubbed the floor. And who did it? Nobody knows. Why wasn't I told? And it literally looks like shit. I had a situation that they had to scrub, I think it was in Bloomfield. And
Okay.
they was supposed to scrub the floor.
Hmm.
Yo, I went the next day, the line was still there. It's like they did nothing to the floor.
They probably just did a quickie, man.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. I don't like babysitting people, bro.
I can't
I,
do that, man.
I don't like.
I mean, we're grown ups, man. We're
Mhm.
grown ups, man. Yeah, I see your point, man, and it's been a couple of situations that I'd be like, hey, listen,
Oh, I know you've been in those situations. I know.
and you know what? Being somebody, yeah, definitely, and it gets to a point that I tell them, I was like, listen, I mean, you give me you telling me that you couldn't done it the right way, you were rushing, I mean, so I was like, that tells me that I won't trust you anymore, and
Hmm.
or I won't trust that you're gonna do a couple of projects for me. So I just gotta get somebody else.
Hmm. Hmm.
I always say, man, you always gotta do a good job no matter what.
Or show,
Because if you,
or show
you
you
know,
did some type of efforts.
yeah, or call and be like, hey, listen, we're hitting it, but it's not coming off. You got any ideas? You know, what are you thinking? Just tell me what's going on. But don't just do the job and leave. No, I'm the type of guy that hey, uh, we got a situation here. Sometimes I call managers and be like, hey, listen, this is what we're doing. I'm not promising you it's gonna come out maybe the way that we talk about. Let me give it a try right now. I'm gonna try something, a couple of things differently, and maybe come back tomorrow and do it again. We'll see if it fixes it. But I'm letting the manager know already.
Yeah, you have
But
that. Yeah,
I,
yeah.
yeah, I don't want. I'm not gonna go into the job and take care, get it done, and be like, it looks like crap. But hey, it is what it is. I just leave. No, because it's my reputation, and I'd be like,
Hmm.
hey,
Dude,
you know,
I've been in my career in this industry. I've always been very anal on you're gonna do something, you gotta let me know. You don't let me know, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
how do you want me to, have your bag if you're
Hmm.
not gonna communicate? The communication is a key,
Oh,
man.
key. Something that was always preached to us, but was never. Let me shut up. Anyway,
It's tough. It's tough. I mean,
yeah,
but you know what, man? Uh, I always say we can make a difference.
yeah,
It
yeah,
might not be. It might not. We not. Maybe not. Everybody's gonna see it, but somebody's gonna see that you're making a difference, and they're gonna appreciate. And you never know, man. You never
yeah,
know. You never know who's gonna appreciate the effort you're doing, what you're
yeah,
doing, and you just gain the experience, man. You just get experience every day. You learn something, man. I learn something every day, man. And I have learned things from like cleaners, man. Like they're just
yeah.
I'd be like watching them cleaning. And I'd be like, hey, what? Can you do that again? I mean, show me what you're doing right there. I'm like, oh yeah, I've been doing this for years, and the way I do it, it makes it a lot faster and clean this type of a certain thing like a stain or something like that. I'd be like, oh, well, can you teach me?
And
I would
you know
like to
what?
learn, man.
It's in this industry. It's always evolving.
Hmm.
The techniques, the
Yeah.
machinery, everything's evolving. Like I remember, and interviews, I've been asked, what do you know? And my answer was always be like, well, I don't know everything, because in this industry, machinery, shipping, waxing, chemicals, just doing the technique, everything's evolving. You
Yeah.
know, you show me this technique to do this, but not necessarily this technique can help me in this building that's
Hmm.
big. I need to do something else. It'll help me maybe in one in another building that's much smaller, that I give it this type of wipe and it cleans it quick and I move on to the next and it's fast. Technique is very important, but not
Yeah,
everywhere the technique is going to work.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
There's different things for everything.
Yeah, you always have to be willing to listen.
Hmm.
Sometimes, sometimes certain supervisors or managers, they just they don't have an open mind to, hey, I always tell the cleaner, I'll be like, hey, can you clean this? Oh, all right, take care of it. It doesn't get the finish that I want to see. So I always ask them like, how do you clean this? What you been doing?
Hmm.
And I ask them, I don't tell them right away. How come? I mean, I told you to clean it. I can tell that you try, but what are you doing that it's not coming out the right way,
Hmm.
how it's supposed to look? So I always ask them. I'll be like, hey, what do you do? How do you clean it? Can you show me?
Hmm.
And if I see something that it's wrong, I always tell them, oh, you know what? This is what you're doing wrong.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll be like, hey, that came out nice and clean. How do you, I mean, what you did? I mean, what kind of chemical? Oh no, these are the things that I did, and this is what I do. So it comes out like that. It's like, oh, great. So I learn from them, but I don't jump into conclusions. I always like to listen to. I always ask them, I was like, hey, can you tell me how come it's not coming out right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I totally agree. I did. I will always do the same thing and try to just dissect it and which way the technique or the cleaning, what can work.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I've learned is always good to encourage the cleaners. If they did a good job, just tell them they did a good job.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I will. And some people can disagree with me, but if I walk into a building and the building manager tells me, "Yo, they did this really good. I like this." Did you tell them?
Mm-hmm.
Encourage them.
Yeah.
If it
Definitely.
comes from me, it's okay. But if it comes from the building manager, it's even perfect. They'll work
Oh
like
yeah. Yeah. I
they
always
work.
share those.
They work even better. You
I always
know,
share those.
what's good. What it's better if it comes from the building manager because they're there. They're the one who's paying for the service. Than us because
Mm-hmm.
we just walk in. We could literally be telling what they want to hear.
Exactly.
And especially in these positions that we're corporate, uh, if we're there, it's because there's always something wrong. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not perfect, man. It's not. It's a tough industry to keep up with, and yeah, those are the days that you be like, oh man, is it worth it? Going back to, is it worth it? Because you'd be like, oh man, this thing again. Sometimes it's the same complaint,
Hmm.
and you were like, oh man, are you serious, man? And you get to a point that, I mean, before you talk to the employee, you always want to go with the cool down head. I mean, you got to make sure that, right, I got to think what I'm going to say to the employee,
Hmm.
and because it's the same mistake they're making, it's the same complaint, and those are the things that they get you, man. They bother you
Hmm.
to the point that be like, oh man, it gives
I
you a
had a,
headache,
I had
it
a,
gets you stressed.
I don't know if it's because I have like I work security and at one point I was uh, working towards my criminal justice degree, but I have like this three strike rule. Like especially with these buildings that have union, they tend to they tend to take advantage
Hmm.
of because they're union. They could do whatever basically whatever the fuck they want. But if you look at the fine print, they're supposed to comply to certain guidelines.
Okay.
And if you look at the book and you see what they're doing, there's something wrong there. So you gotta do your due diligence. It's something that I was very good at and often criticize and hate it, but fuck it. And be like, okay, your third strike. This is the third time. We're gonna have to switch you. You're gonna have to let you go. And this is the union representative being involved. Everybody be involved. Like I was very thorough to be communicated that it's not working. It's not
Hmm.
working. And The one situation I had before I left was this gentleman that been in that same location for, I don't know, like fucking 10 years, 15 years, and it was third week of the same complaints, same complaints, same complaints, and I've gone in there and cleaned it, and done my shit, and same thing. You can't fire him, but you can move him.
Exactly.
You can move him to another place. Maybe it's too much for him.
Hmm.
So it's like a puzzle, man. You always have to come up and put the pieces together and find solutions.
Yeah, yeah. You said it, man. I mean, non-union buildings, union buildings, they're completely different ball game, and that's what makes it more tough for us, the managers.
Yeah,
You can do certain things. You can move your pieces. A non-union building, you can deal with that a lot easier than with the union, and that's the other things that you gotta struggle with. And so as a manager, I mean, we struggle from a lot of ends, man. I mean, a lot of ways that, you know, today probably was a good day. Tomorrow, boom, like 20 emails, man, complain here,
oh
complain there. I
man.
was like, oh crap. It's like, and then you
when
got
you
you got to
when
deal
you
with.
think you had a perfect night of sleep, and then like my day literally started at sometimes 5:30 in the morning, just with phone calls,
Yep.
just with phone calls, and then the emails, and then one email after another, and one email after another, and one email after another. Like I hurt my neck reading so much emails.
You probably go to sleep, man. You'd be like, oh man, I gotta answer these email. I forgot about these
Dude, and the
email. Crap.
conference calls, and the conference calls that we did at 4 o'clock, I was in my car sometimes. I would just mute the phone and just knocked out sometimes. And then when I said my name, yeah, what was that? Because it gets mentally exhausted. Like it's not even physical. Your mental just it kills you with so much.
Yeah, and in this industry, as a manager, it's not for everybody, man.
Yeah,
Because you gotta deal with it the right way. Because if you don't, you're gonna lose your mind, and that's when you start going off on people. You start going, and then they're gonna be like, "Hey, I don't think you suit for the position, man." And sometimes that's why you gotta know when to let certain things go, and certain things take it personal. But definitely, it's not for everybody, man. It's stressful, man.
yeah.
Gets to a point that you gotta be real careful because you gotta be your health. Your health is, I mean, long as you're not bringing those problems home, you're
Mm-hmm.
fine. That's the key. I mean, you can be stressed, you can be mad, but once you walk into the house and you leave that out there, you okay.
Yeah.
You be okay, man. But
Yeah.
if you bring in those problems into your house, listen, it's gonna affect you in so many ways, in so many that you can lose a lot more than what you can. I mean, from your job, family,
But
friends.
but lucky for you, you started a new hobby. You got a mountain bike, brother. You on those
My man,
terrains.
listen. Hey, that's
How's that
you know
going?
what? It's going. I got a group of guys, good friends of mine, great people. Uh, one of my friends just started talking about riding. One of the guys already had a bike, but he didn't really spoke about. He would ride every now and then. So my other friend Marvin, and he got a bike and he started getting into it. So he was going to the trails here in Mercer, small trails. When you're a beginner, it's a perfect trail to start, to get to know your bike and to know what's the feeling of mountain biking. Uh, yeah, we not that young. We're not that young. I mean, when you see some of these videos, man, you'd be like, man, I want to do those things.
No, but it's fun, bro. I see. It's fun, and it's camaraderie. You're joining with other people in the same and the same hobby,
Yeah,
you look like you're having
exactly.
fun.
I am. You know, there's a couple of trails that we've been. We like the 6 Mile Run by Somerset, Route 27. Great place. It's a completely different thing.
Do you
That
document it?
Marvin, my friend, he is recording. He got his own channel on YouTube,
Yeah.
and
Dude,
yeah, yeah. You know what?
you gotta tell me if I could check it out.
I'm gonna tell you, I haven't watched him because he just upload one video and he got tons of videos that he has to edit. And I tell him, I was like, hey, listen, have you put new videos? I'm like, hey, man, I gotta edit the new videos. I was like, dude, come on, man. And I always tell him, I mean, that's the reason you record, right? I mean, I mean, if you see the uncut part, man, you gotta be laughing, man.
That's
We took
fuck.
my brother. We took my brother, man. We took my brother.
That's
My
fucking
brother, I mean,
awesome.
my brother, a great guy. He's in his 50s. It's been a while. He hasn't ride, man, and he knows my friends because my friends they're older than me. They're in the mid 40s. I'm the youngest one in the crew, and we took my brother, man. I told my brother, listen, man, it's not as easy you think, man, because especially 6 Mile Run, it's not as tough. It's pretty tough, but if you're a beginner, man, that's not it's not for you yet. And we took my brother. We were laughing, man. We were laughing. I mean, we were watching some of the videos, man.
Dude, I gotta see
Uh,
him. I gotta see him.
listen, man, it was funny. I mean, to me, it was more like a that can go to the that show the funniest videos,
Hmm.
and you will have a laugh, man. And we enjoy it, man. And we enjoy riding. I just purchased my bike. What September? Yeah, at the beginning of September or way before. Yeah,
No way,
September.
because when before I left, you're already pursuing that.
Correct, correct. And so I purchased my bike. Matter of fact, I'm still paying it.
But it's a good bike, right? It's dedicated for that.
Yeah, it's a good. Trust me, there's like better way. I mean, bikes out there, man. That you'd be like, ooh. I mean, you talk about 8 grand, 10
Yeah,
grand.
yeah.
That's more like the professional. Like the one that I got, I think I got a. I didn't want to make another purchase. Buy like a front suspension, like a lot of people usually do. But no, I was talking to my nephew. He's like, hey, Theo, if you're gonna buy a bike, you might as well do a double suspension, because you're gonna like the sport, and then you want to buy a better bike. Now, if you buy a bike that is gonna last you for a good time, you gotta stick with it. You gotta be okay. And good thing I did. Good thing I did. Listen to him, and I purchased a bike, and I enjoying it, man. I enjoying it, and that's one of the reasons. It's a small group that we have, and that's one of the reasons I talked to you. Hey, listen, I seen you work, the type of work you do, and I want to get a couple of T-shirts with the logo that you sent me, which I like it, and because I appreciate the friendship that I got with those guys. So I want to
Yeah.
do something cool, something something small but something nice. So I was like, I was talking to my brother. I was like, hey, listen, I'm gonna purchase a couple of T-shirts, and I got a friend of mine that he got his own company, so I'm gonna talk to him, and he's gonna have a better idea. He can come up with something, uh, not something cool by me just kind of explaining what I like. And
Hmm.
the logo you sent me, it's sick, man. I like it. I like the name. The name I came up with the name. We do have a chat on WhatsApp. My friend started it, but he only put the BC tour in Spanish. BC bike is BC, and he put a BC tour. And so I was like, I just added up los renegados bikers.
Renegades. Yeah.
In English, renegades, en español, casi lo mismo, renegado. So they liked it. I was like, yeah, I told them, I was like, listen, I got a good friend of mine. He got his own company. I'm gonna tell him if he can, hope he can do a couple of T-shirts for me. And if we like it, we can do something with a better material. Maybe those like the material you sent me last time.
Hmm.
So I like that, and that's it's a sport that you know I feel like it's keeping me young and healthy.
Yeah, yeah. It looks fun
And
and it's therapeutic because you're you're riding and seeing all that nature, man. That helps you mentally.
yeah, and the adrenaline, man, because
Yeah.
sometimes you can jump going down the hills. Yeah, I mean, I haven't felt that much. I did a couple of times, nothing big. But one of my friends, man, he just we were going down the hill. He was going with then we it was another up in the hill. It was a hill coming up, and we all made it. And by the time he was making it to the top, it was like a tree going sideways. He didn't see it, man. He just bang hit it, came down rolling down the hill, man. I mean, he was okay, but I mean, at the moment you like kind of worry, but then you'd be like, "Is he okay?" Then we start laughing, man.
Did you guys
And
use
those,
protection, right? I can imagine.
oh yeah, 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 yeah. We got helmets. That's why he was okay. That's why he was
Wow.
okay. I have hit myself with a couple of branches. Sometimes you just hear that boom. I was like, oh crap. I was like, I just turn around. I was like, oh man, because you go. Sometimes you're going down the hills fast, so the trails. Sometimes you don't. If you don't really know the trail well, it can be kind of tricky.
Yeah.
But it's a great sport, man. I mean, if you
Have you
ever,
guys ever thought of like joining one of these like Spartan bicycle mountain races or just things
you know
like
what,
that?
we were talking about it. We were talking about it. We say, hey, we're gonna get more experience. We're gonna get better at it, and we're thinking about doing. There's a couple of races in PA. They start in the spring, and we're thinking about doing it, man. We're doing the beginner part though,
Yeah, no,
man.
definitely, definitely. You
there's
gotta.
there's a trail that we want to do, but that's so downhill. It's by Parsippany. I forgot the name of the trails, but you gotta pay $50 so they take you up, and you just come down the hill, man. And they got so many trails like the beginners, semi-pro, professional, and doing the beginner. I mean, it's looking at some of the videos. It looks pretty tough, man. But it's something that we want to do, and we were talking about it. And not only that, what we want to do as a group, as a guy, we want to go to a certain upstate New York. They got some trails, and you can camp, and we just want to
Whoa,
do like a long weekend, man, and just
whoa,
ride and grill, have a couple of drinks,
that's
what
fucking
the guys
dope.
do, man.
Yeah, yeah, it's fucking
It's
dope.
it's nice, and it has bring us together as a friends. They're great peeps, man. The good guys, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the moment, man.
No, no, I'm
You
happy
know,
for you, brother. That sounds
thank you.
fucking. That's fucking awesome.
It is, it is. I mean, you should try, man. You should come out, man. I mean,
So
get yourself a bike.
I've haven't. I think I haven't rode on a bike in like over 10 years. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Hey, listen, man. I mean, it was the same thing for me, man. Yeah, just watching. I remember on the summertime when I went to Arkansas
Hmm.
on vacation for a couple of days, and so my nephew already he's been riding, and he took me to a place. So that's when I started getting into the sport already more and more and more. And so I was like, you know what? In a couple of months, one more month, I'm gonna buy myself a bike. And and when I spoke with my brother, I was like, I'm gonna get myself a bike, man. He's like, how much you gonna pay for it? And when I tell him, he was like, man, you crazy for a bike? I was like, but you know what, man? I think at the end it's worth it.
Yeah.
That's what you work for. That's what you work for. And at the end of the day, if you enjoy it, if you're not, you can always resell it. But to be honest with you, I'm not going anywhere with this. I mean, when I say I'm not going anywhere, I say I'm not leaving the sport anytime soon, man. I'm
Yeah,
liking it. I'm liking it.
I have a friend that he's doing he's making shirts and selling them. It's called Bike Save the World, and he
Oh
just
yeah?
yeah, he does these cyclothons, right? Is that I'm not sure of that.
Nah, he's doing what? He's doing roads. Oh, he's doing
Well, and it's definitely not mountain biking, but
okay, okay.
it's road, and what he's done is really amazing. I think he did something last week or was it 2 weeks ago? I can't remember. Which he got a lot of fucking people, like more than 20 people, and they just rode.
Listen, man. Yeah, when they do a lot of road riding, that's a nice. I
Yeah,
mean, you have to be in good shape as well, man.
yeah,
I got a lot of respect for those dudes, man, because they will go for miles, man. I think that the most that we do in trail miles, 17 miles is the most that I have done.
wow.
But those dudes, when they go on the roads, those dudes they will go for good amount of
Yes, I
miles,
know he
man.
went to New York, the Bronx, and Brooklyn, and then
Okay.
came back to Jersey City.
No, see, that's what I'm saying. How many miles is that, man?
That's a
That's a
lot.
lot of. Oh, that's a lot of miles.
I'll go.
And
I'll go over
sometimes they
there, but
gotta
they're gonna
take
have
the
to bring
back.
me back.
And like, listen, man, I might have to take a pit stop, man. For a couple of hours. But no, no. I mean, they gotta take some of those back roads, some of those hills, man.
Definitely.
I mean, I take. Like I said, I respect those guys a lot in so many ways, man. Not only it's a great sport, but you gotta be real careful because you're out on the road, man. Sometimes people are not paying attention, and they can hit you. So that's a it's a nice sport, but it's a risky sport as well. I said the
Yeah.
mountain biking as well. The same thing. You can break. You can have a
Yeah, you
fracture.
could you could fall down a mountain
Yeah.
and fucking just roll for days.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
But
man.
that adrenaline, brother. I think when we get to a certain age, we need that in our lives.
Yeah, yeah. Because you ain't getting any younger, man.
You
So
need to
you gotta
live
do it.
and vivir.
Yeah, you gotta live and you gotta do, and you know what? And you don't be afraid to do things. Try it. If you don't try it,
Yeah,
you won't know. I'll be like, sometimes I hear people saying, "Oh no, man, that's dangerous, man." But have you tried?
yeah.
The question is, have you tried? I mean, oh no, I'm not doing. I can't do it. I mean, what do you mean you can't? Have you tried? It's gonna take time to get to certain where certain people is, but have you tried?
Dude,
No.
I tried
Okay.
when I was young. I tried to be a wrestler, bro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How'd that came out with you? Wow, they were slamming you down all over.
Oh man, I loved it. I loved it. I
Okay.
actually have a good friend. His name is Sunny Kiss. He's in AEW, the new wrestling
Okay.
promotion. Uh, yeah, man. I'm happy that he's there. Yeah, I love that. I've always loved wrestling, the entertainment part of it. But
Yeah.
back then, I was just had like a shitty schedule. I worked overnights,
Okay.
and at the gym where they were training, I had to be there at 2. So like I
Okay.
would get home, I would get out of work at 8 o'clock in the morning, sleep till 12, and then by one
Go to the
o'clock,
gym.
yeah, like that was fucking killing me. Then because it was far, it was in I think Totowa. I was it was a drive back. By the time I get home, it's like 8 o'clock. I gotta start getting ready because I go in at 12. Gotta eat something. Gotta shower.
But you tried it though.
Hell yeah, I
You know what
love
I'm
that
saying?
shit.
You know what I'm saying? You liked it.
Yeah,
So
man.
you liked it. You gave it a try. And sometimes people are afraid to try certain things, certain sports. Not only sports, but yeah, a little bit of everything in life, man. They're afraid to
Hmm.
do certain things. Don't be afraid, man. Give it a try. Like you said, you gotta leave, man. Yeah, you gotta stay positive regardless of the
Yeah,
situations.
yeah.
Like right now, regardless of the pandemic,
You
you
gotta
gotta
try to
stay
live.
positive.
Yeah,
That's right now is the most crucial times that you gotta be like you gotta stay positive, man. Positive will get you through a lot of things, regardless of the moment you having is a tough. If it's tough and rough, I mean,
preach, brother, preach.
listen, man. I mean, you gotta. I mean, you always gotta think somebody else is having it worse and you can you what you're doing and be like, hey, listen, I got a roof, I
You
got a
gotta,
job.
you gotta
Even
appreciate
if
what you
you
have. Yeah,
exactly, and you know what? If you didn't have a job, listen, go out tomorrow, apply online, make some calls, go out
make
there.
something happen.
Exactly, go out there. Look at you, man. You running your business, man.
Yeah,
You running your podcast. Hey,
you're
you
running your
do
mountain bike. You're doing something.
you exactly. You're doing something about it.
Yeah, you do wheelies in that mountain bike.
A couple of them. I do a couple of them. Nothing professional, but like I said, I'm getting to know more of the sport.
Oh man.
So I'm thinking about next summer. I should be okay. I'm jumping already, man.
You're
I'm jumping.
you're you're
I'm,
making
I'm
me go to the
jumping.
dark side. Dude, I
Yeah,
used to I used to
I,
love riding bikes, man. I used to love Papa Wheelings. I used to oh man. I miss it.
it's nice. The adrenaline, jumping, going down the trails. You don't know what's coming up, and or if you know, regardless, you know the trail. You sometimes the good thing about when you know the trail, you can go faster, man.
Yeah.
And you can go faster and faster and faster. You always want to go. See, the more you get to know the sport, the more you want to do, like more higher jumps, uh, better trails, faster. You want to go faster down the hills, man, because you know your bike and you get to know the trail already. You just want to go faster, man. So that's the adrenaline, man. And sometimes we go back to the same trail and just face a high jumps or big steep hills that you want to go down,
Yeah.
and we able to go down without
Dude,
get yourself hurt.
when we finish when we get your shirts, right? When you do your shirts, I have the image ready for you, so that's yours.
Awesome.
Um, and you guys do what you do. Just try to make a schedule so you can bring your friends, your team, and we could talk about this shit. I think it's something, especially now in the pandemic, people would probably love to do. Just get that space, you know.
Yeah, it gets you. It gets your mind. Gets you relaxed. This sport, man, you can be riding. Like I went Sunday, just a small trail, like by the canal. We went to Lambertville, and we just parked the bikes. We went into a nice restaurant, have breakfast, came out, start riding again, and just kind of it was relaxing. It was relaxing, and we were talking about it with the guys. We're like, hey, we should do these more often, regardless of the weather. It was chilly in the morning, but
But that's the
once you start,
best. But that's the
but you
best.
exactly, you start warming up, you're okay. You kind of
That's
gear up and
yeah,
you be okay, and you enjoy nature, like you said, man, and you see other people going by. You see other bikers going by, and they just say, "Hey, how you doing? Hey, ride safe, man." Things like that.
that's dope, man. I'm happy you're doing that, man.
It's
Shit.
nice. It's nice, man. It's nice.
You I see the videos you post, you're having fun. Shit, you're this is what I like because you're doing something out of your comfort zone. And a lot of people have taken this pandemic and just sit back and relax and get fat. But
Hey,
you
trust me. I was
yeah,
putting some weight. I was like, man, no, I gotta. You know what? I'm not getting any younger, man. And this is a great sport, a great time to go out there and enjoy it. And you know what? In a way that this pandemic is not all bad because now you're doing a lot of things out there.
hmm
And like you said, some of the people are not taking advantage and they're sitting back on their couch. And there's a lot of things you can do that you don't have to go into a big crowd. It's
hmm
like you can go for a hike, you can do for a walk, bike, and it's crazy. On one of the trails, we saw this kid, man. You know how that I don't know what's it called, but it's the one wheel, and you just standing, but it's one wheel.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
It's
I don't know the name yet.
like a hoverboard, whatever you call that. But they use that a lot in the West Coast. But I saw this kid, man, like going up in the hill with it. I was like,
Wow.
look, man, little kid, and his father was with him as well. But his father had a bike, and his son had that. I was like, but they're doing something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And also you know Erwin, right?
Yeah.
There's he writes too.
Yeah?
He goes with his group every now and then. I think he went with us for a couple of times, and he's good too. He's good at it. I mean, the bike he wants to buy a better bike, but with the bike he has, he keeps up with us, man. I was like, hey, listen, man, when you get a good bike, man, you gotta be okay, man, because he keeps up with us, fine, man, and he enjoys it. He likes it. He likes it, and he tells me
That's dope, bro.
he starts to take his son with him I want to take my son, my 11-year-old,
Yeah.
and I told him I was like, hey, I'm gonna get you a bike, and we're gonna start riding. And he used to tell me, I was like, yeah, I will, Dad, but right now it's kind of cold, man. It's like, all right. I was like, listen, all right. I mean, it's kind of cold right now, but when it comes to spring, if we alive, we pray to God that we'll be okay.
You gotta take him to those start-off roads, right?
Yeah, yeah, definitely not
But he's
something
young. He's gonna pick it
something
up. He's gonna next thing you know, he's gonna be flying right behind you. Boom.
something chill, something nice for him. And he tells me, he's like, yeah, yeah, I do want to ride with you. So I'm setting the example for him because don't get me wrong. I mean, he likes sports, but he doesn't like to ride. He's like, because I was like, I love sports, man. I love
Oh
sport. I play
man.
football, I play soccer, I play basketball and baseball. And I was blessed that I was able to be good at each sport.
Or
And
enjoy a sport.
huh?
Or enjoy him.
Yeah. And he since day one he always sat with me watch, like in my living room, and you're always gonna see that we're watching sports, man. It can be baseball, basketball,
You know, once
soccer.
the Patriots go and get eliminated.
Come on, man. Listen, you know what?
I'm just fucking with you.
I'm a Patriot. No, no, I know I'm a Patriot 100%, man. Regardless of what they're going through, it's a rebuild now. And
What do you think about Cam Newton? Are you think they're gonna resign him or not?
nah, I don't think so. You know what? I like the how he played back then, but he doesn't have it anymore, man. I don't know. But no, you know what? I don't think they will. And I think they got the other teams. They're gonna see him as a backup.
That's sad because I
Yeah,
feel
I mean,
like he has the potential, but he's like after they lost the Super Bowl against Denver when he was playing with the
with
Panthers. I,
Panthers, North Carolina.
he doesn't. It's like blah. Like he doesn't
And now, remember, he had a couple of surgeries done. So
Yeah.
when he came back, I mean, it changes. That changes your game too, you know.
Mm.
So it's not like he's getting any young as well. So it's a lot of factors, you know, that they're out there for them, especially professional. But I think he did okay. I mean, they didn't have no preseason as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if they decide to give him another year, I mean, the coaches know them better than me. So hey,
So what do
we'll
you?
see what happens.
Who's in the play? I haven't seen football in a while, bro. I've been so busy. Who's in the playoff
There's
standing?
well, from the national, I remember the Rams are going against the Green Bay. That's gonna be a good game. Uh, yeah, back in years, they're going against the Saints. That's
Mm.
gotta be a good game because the Saints beat the crap out of them on
In the
regular season.
yeah.
On regular season, both games, the Saints dominate the
Mm-hmm.
back in years. So it's gotta be an interesting game. I'm looking for. I can't wait to watch that game. That's gotta be a good game because Tom Brady. No, they were saying Tom Brady. It's a completely different animal when it comes to the playoffs. But Saints, they also got the experience as well, man. So it's gotta be a good game. It's gotta be a good game, man. Um,
I
Kansas
can't.
City Chiefs. They're
They're
Kansas
going.
City Chiefs. They're Kansas City Chiefs. They're doing good.
Yeah.
I mean, they got a
Defending
great team.
champions.
Yeah, they,
I'm
they
looking
got a
for.
great team.
Are they playing against who's playing against the Bills?
The Bills, they're playing the Ravens.
Ravens. Shit, I know. I saw. Was it yesterday? The the
Oh, Alabama
Steel.
against Ohio.
Yeah, that was a good game.
Oh no,
That's
yeah,
college.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah, yeah. That's cool. I was watching it last night.
what's his name? Cleveland beat the Steelers. The Browns beat the
Oh,
Steelers.
but you know what? They play like a week before in the Cleveland and regular season, and they beat the Steelers. The Steelers they started good, but they were coming down the hill, man. They were not playing like they started at the beginning. So I don't know. I mean, but I didn't see the Steelers winning or going to the Super Bowl, man. I
Yeah.
didn't see them.
I'm hyped. I'm hyped for the Bills. I'm hyped for the Bills.
Yeah, the Bills Ravens. Ravens played a good game against who do they play? Tennessee Titans. They just beat this past weekend, and the Browns are gonna be playing the Chiefs. Uh, Kansas City is gonna. You
All
never
right.
know. You never
All right.
know.
So this is your first podcast, right? And what is your prediction? Because by the time this gets released, it's going to be maybe late February or after February.
Okay.
Who you got? Who's your prediction? Right here, official.
What to
Who's
win the
winning the
Super
Super?
Bowl?
Yeah.
You know what? It's tough because Green Bay from the National. Green Bay is looking good, man.
Mm.
For the America, the Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs are doing great. Uh, I Green Bay, I would say Green Bay, Kansas for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Kansas again.
Yeah,
Yo,
Kansas City's. I mean,
did you read his contract?
my home,
Did you
my home,
Mahoney?
my
Mahoney.
home.
Did you read his contract? He's part owner of the Kansas City Royals. They gave him a big ass contract.
Money talks, man.
Good for him though, you know.
Hey, and you know what? He proved it uh, against last Super Bowl, and they're going back to they're back in the playoffs now. They had a bye week list this past weekend. I mean, of course, they got first seeded, so they got to be playing the Browns. Browns are doing good, but they don't have the weapons as Kansas City, And I mean, Kansas City, I mean, they're playing good game. And don't get me wrong, the Browns, they're living their moment right now, and so you never know. Playoffs are the playoffs, and maybe the Browns can be giving a surprise. But I think like if you tell me if the way I see each team playing right now, yeah, maybe the Bills. I don't know, but my prediction would be Kansas City against Green Bay Packers, man.
Got it. You heard it here, folks. His prediction for the Super Bowl. I'm looking forward. I'm honestly just looking forward to see what the Bills are going to do and what Tom Brady's going to do.
Yeah, you're right. And you know what's crazy though? And the Super Bowl is gonna be in Tampa, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. So
Mm.
that's one of the reasons Tampa Bay. They start loading their lines with uh, Tom Brady. Look, they got Antonio Brown almost at the end of the season, and they got good weapons. Don't
Dude,
get me wrong, but
imagine they win a championship. That'll be his seventh one with another team. And I think after that he's gonna
exactly.
retire. I think it's more to I mean, you have to retire, right? You want to retire on top, and especially you're retiring on top, but yet looking at your old team, like I told you, you're gonna regret this.
But you know what? Sometimes I think at the same time it was good for him
Mm-hmm.
to get and he wins it. Good for him, So he proves that he's one of the greatest quarterback of all times.
The
Uh,
greatest because 7 championships.
I mean, he wins it. That'd be great for him because he not only have done it with the Patriots, but now he's for his first season
Mm-hmm.
with the Buccaneers. I think he's doing great, man.
Yeah,
Regardless if
yeah.
he doesn't win the Super Bowl, where they are now. I mean, yeah, they play the wild
But
card,
they'll
but
they'll do
still,
with they'll do with they did to Peyton Manning. He was a great player for the Colts. He got old and hey, we don't see you no more in this organization. Boom, they shipped him out.
yeah.
Uh,
Now remember, they have their doubts with him,
mm-hmm,
because he had that back surgery.
mm-hmm.
So that's a gamble, because he's not 100% that he's gonna be okay. But look, and like those players are smart too, man. Before they decide to go to a certain team, they want to hear what
Mm-hmm.
their
Well, I remember.
project gonna be for the
Yeah,
season.
yeah. Yeah, they know what to look for.
Exactly.
So I'm excited about that. Let's see what happens.
Hey, listen, this coming weekend's got to be some good games. Some
Yeah,
good games.
definitely,
You should
definitely.
watch them.
Yeah, like I said, I'm looking forward to the Bills and the Buccaneers. I really don't care who's gonna win it. I'm looking forward because the Bills haven't been good since OJ Simpson,
Yeah.
you know, and to let years pass and finally get that spotlight and be and get to some form of top. And then
Yeah.
the story. I guess I like the stories. It has to mean something. And then you have
Yeah.
Tom Brady. Six championships, multiple years with the what do you call it, the Patriots, and now he's in a new
Hmm.
team, and he's back at where he last left off with another team.
And he looks healthy, man.
Yeah,
That dude takes care of himself, man. Like he said, listen, if I want to play this for a couple of more years, I gotta take care of my body. I gotta stay healthy. And he's staying healthy, man. He moves more in the pocket now than ever with the Patriots.
yeah, yeah, and
So
and it has to have a good defense. That defense has to be good.
yeah, the good offensive line is good. They protect them, and yeah, the defense gotta be good. The defense puts the ball back in his hands. So yeah, I mean, back in the years, they got a good. They're set, man.
That's what's up.
It's
All
gonna
right,
be interesting.
all right, brother. We are here at the finale of the podcast.
My man. All right, all
Uh,
right.
so we have this thing that before we go, we ask you, our guest for today, tell you where the people can find you at to get to know you better. Talk about sports. Get some camaraderie. Maybe bike together. He's a cool guy.
Yeah, you know what? I used my IG a lot. You notice that? Have you? Yeah, you know what? It's my first time. It's crazy. Um, yeah, they can find me on my IG. I don't know if you can write it down when you post this
Yeah, I
video.
got it. I'm gonna post it.
And so post it. You got my permission. It's so good. My IG and no, man, thank you. To be honest with you, it's my first time. Like I said, I don't know what to like. If
Respect.
you notice, yeah, I was kind of nervous at the beginning. I was like, man, and I know we were gonna do it a little bit earlier, but something came up, and appreciate you your time and the
Thank you.
comprehension.
Thank
You know,
you.
you understood what I was doing, and thank you. And you still gave me another time to just come up and do these, and I like it, man. It's nice. I mean, eventually, if you want to do it again,
Yeah, I'm.
talk about soccer, the other sports.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
down
trying
with
to.
it, man.
I'm trying to launch. I'm trying to launch it in Spanish. So breaking news for all the listeners.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
just
you
doing
can do
it.
it. You can do it Spanglish as well, man.
Yeah,
A lot of
that too.
shows a lot of shows they're doing in Spanglish, man. It's believe it or not, man. A lot of people that they don't speak Spanish, that's how they learn it. They when they start watching more shows in Spanglish, that now they know they won't get lost in the conversation because
Yeah, yeah.
it's a Spanglish. So yeah, if you do, man, just let me know, and I'll got some other friends, like you said, bring them up onto into your podcast and get over the four guys. Maybe eventually, by the time we go back in your on your channel, I mean, there'll be more of us. But yeah, let me know, man. I liked it. Appreciate the time.
Thank you. Thank
Thanks,
you.
man. As not because you're in front of me and we're in your podcast, but you're a great guy, man.
Thank you.
The
Thank
day I
you.
met you, man, I remember, man. Last thing before we go, I met you, man. You were like a serious guy, man. And, and I was like, man, and you look. I mean, the way you present yourself, nice and clean, but you look like you got the older face.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
thought you were older than me, man. Where I was like, man, this guy is younger than me. But I was like, I saw you like so serious, man. But you ended up being a pretty cool guy, man. And I mean, like you didn't know me, I didn't know you. But you were like, hey, how you doing, man? It's like, hey, nice to meet you on Dio. It's like, man, these guys is serious, man. But I was like, I told you, it's like, whatever you need, man, I'm here. And like, it was great to meet you back then, and it's great to be talking to you. The good thing, we never lost
Contact.
the communication.
Yes, sir.
And that was a great thing. It was good. It was good to know that you were in IG and find you. And listen, man, just want to wish you the best. Keep up what you're doing, man, with
Thank
this
you, thank you.
podcast and on your business. Keep up, man.
Thank you.
Trust me. I'm telling some of my friends that got their own business. I'm telling them about you. And
Yeah, tell them to come on to help promote them, and that's what we do
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
brother. We lift people.
Definitely, man. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for your time. Again, God bless you, man, and
Thank
wish
you,
you the
amen.
best, brother.
Thank you,
You
brother.
and your family.
Thank you.
All
Likewise.
right, brother.
Bye.
All right, my man.
Bye.
All right.